Good evening. We are back. It is, the red carpet is gone.
You thought you were done with us.
Yeah, but you're not. The red carpet has been removed. We are now here for the Backstage show.
It's the late night portion of the show.
Yes,
late night
exactly.
lounging with Amanda in Paris.
Yes. So, yes, a quick introduction here. I'm Amanda Vinicky, typically a correspondent for Chicago Tonight on WTTW, program that airs a bit of a news magazine program at 7 p.m. And Paris is one of the delightful co-hosts, co-anchors of the program.
And you're normally covering some very serious topics like the Safety Act and state legislative races and judicial races, and tonight we're letting our guard down and having a little bit of fun, although the folks that we interview are going to get the Amanda in Paris interview treatment.
Better believe
These are not going to be softballs, and we're going to interview a lot of folks coming up pretty soon, including the civil rights icon, Reverend Jesse Jackson, who is winning a really special award from the National Association of Television Arts and Sciences tonight. We're also going to interview some of the winners in these categories, some of the news luminaries in Chicago and other markets around here, Madison and Milwaukee.
There are a lot of awards, which is really an incredible thing, because I think often you might watch TV, turn on the news, hopefully Chicago Tonight every now and again, and you see the talent, but there's a lot that goes on to make this Backstage show happen, to bring you programming that is on your TV, that streams to you each and every day and each and every night. And so there's a recognition for that here at this award
Editing,
ceremony.
lighting, sound,
audio, all of it.
All of
the
that
whole
stuff.
Gamut.
It's all very important. And we've got a wonderful crew producing this show tonight of students, I believe, mostly students, and they're doing a fabulous job of getting this all together for you so it looks good on TV or streaming or on TikTok, wherever it is that you're watching. I don't know.
We're glad to have you.
I ended at UHF and VHF. I haven't progressed beyond that. So I don't know what the kids are watching these days. I just know I deliver the news for them wherever it is.
I think we're actually going to begin, perhaps, by interviewing some of the students who've won awards. And wow, kudos to them for getting an early start and sharing the news, breaking the news, and achieving so much that it is enough to be recognized here by the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. We've got a whole program. Look at that statue. Some people are going to be lucky enough to bring one of these babies home. Coming up with more. We're going to take a bit of a break, but we'll be back with more of the Backstage shows. Paris and I, lean back.
Should have chill and do some light reading.
See you soon.
Everybody, with some very special guests. We have, here we are. We're back with some very special guests. We have Asia Singleton, someone I know real well because she was with us at WTTW, and we have Joshua Miller, and we have Laura Godoy Figuera.
How do we say it? There we go.
Figuera, and they are from Loyola University's Chicago graduate program in journalism, and they won an award tonight. Joshua, tell us the award you won.
So we actually won a Crystal Pillar for a public service announcement that we produced for a class of ours.
Okay, and what was that public service announcement?
So the public service announcement, was actually for a vaccination. So we were essentially trying to both encourage people to get vaccinated, but also spread a little bit more information about vaccinations for COVID-19.
All right, congratulations.
Asia, why did you decide to focus on this? When you're assigned to do a PSA, as we know them in the biz, these are those sort of little brief bits of information that you get that are just that, a public service. Obviously, vaccination is a hot topic. Why choose this?
Yeah, so when we were working with the city of Maywood, we really wanted to make sure, because there were like low vaccination rates among African American people, specifically with younger people, so we really wanted to make sure that we reached our target audience.
And how about you? Tell me about your involvement in this project.
So we noticed there was a lot of misinformation around it, and so we wanted to do a PSA just to take care of like underrepresented communities, and for us to have that opportunity with school, like that was the greatest one ever.
Making a difference, and then of course adding something to the resume, which I presume is going to be a big deal for each of you when you graduate. What do you hope to make of your journalism career? Let's real quickly go down the line. What are you hoping to accomplish?
So I'm currently doing marketing and advertising, so with Molson course, so that's going great.
Great. And how about you, Asia? You hopefully learned a lot from WTTW.
Yes, I did. So currently I'm working behind the scenes in production and editing at a production company in Chicago.
Congratulations, so glad. And
Joshua, what's next for you?
Yeah, so currently I'm working at Chicago Public Media here at Navy Pier, and their
company.
radio. Yes, very great company. And after that, I would love to go on to be a producer. So we'll see.
All right.
So before we go, show off that award. How about Joshua?
The
Again,
Crystal Pillar.
This is a Crystal Pillar.
Save that. Now, hopefully you all get one, right? Or
Yeah,
That's a good question.
you'll work on it.
we're
A
gonna
little
have to
behind
talk
the
to
scenes
Natus and
info.
figure that one out.
Yeah.
all right. Well,
They got me.
congratulations, you guys.
Thank you.
All right. All
And
right.
that was a bit of a PSA here from the Emmys, but we'll be back with more of the Backstage show with other winners coming up. Cool. And here at the Backstage show, we are joined by our very first winner. Congratulations
Hi.
to Brian Shodorf. He won for Somewhere in America. This was
Thank
a
you.
docuseries promo and editing short form. Tell us, what's it like to bring home one of these golden ladies?
Well, it certainly is rewarding to know that people are seeing your work and appreciating it. And it comes back to just remembering that when you do the hard work and you show up and tell the stories that need to be told, you know, we often say giving voice to the voiceless. I don't necessarily like that, but, you know, giving respect to the people who want to have their voices told, heard, and, you know, to be able to tell their stories. That's what it's all about. And you can come here, and I came here 10 straight times and lost every time. But that does, you know, and that didn't mean the work was less worthy, but today we won, so we're very thankful.
And it's Somewhere in America. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so Somewhere in America is a docu-series about the cultural, political, and spiritual divisions that exist in the U.S. today. So as many of the journalists here covered important stories over the last 2 years with COVID, protests, you name it, that's what it's all about. And we're looking to understand our divisions a little bit better, and that might help us figure out ways to move forward more collectively than we have as a country.
Do you feel like that was accomplished through this work? That somebody who sees Somewhere in America, what might their takeaway be?
Yeah, I think that if you look at this shift in Republican Party ideology with, you know, the Donald Trump presidency, I think a lot of people, specifically in Chicago, wanted to know why does he have such a strong contingent of support across the country? And that didn't just happen by accident. So we want to
Nor did
learn.
it happen spontaneously or overnight, right?
So when you go out into, you know, say 100 miles outside of Chicago, you go to rural America, you know, we're in deep blue country right now, but if you look at the urban-rural divide, it exists just a few miles outside of the city. So, you know, we have to better understand how we can coexist with one another, you know, whether you're Democrat or Republican. And, you know, hopefully people will be able to see this film and understand why people feel the way they do a little bit better.
All right, Brian Shodorf, Shodorf Media. Congratulations,
It's always
man.
good to see you.
Enjoy it. You
I've
as
always
well.
wanted to meet you. And,
Oh gosh, that's so nice of
but I
you.
love your stuff, and I'd love
Thanks
to
very
get a
much.
picture with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
You
can
bet.
do
Well,
that.
we gotta
We'll
toss
do
it-
that as soon as
toss
we're
it
off
away,
here.
and then we'll get a picture.
For what is it? Filmmaker Brian on Instagram.
Filmmaker Brian on
There we
Instagram.
go. We'll
Filmmaker
post
Easy.
it. Come back soon.
You heard it here first.
It's a great project. That's awesome, man.
All right, let's do it. Here, do you want to with just you two first? Do you want...
Yes. Okay, we have another winner. We are back here with another winner. This is Nikki Wasserman from NBC Sports Chicago. You won category 30D, Outstanding Crafts in Editing, Outstanding Crafts Achievement in Editing. This is your 4th Emmy. Congratulations.
Yeah,
How's it feel
thank
to
you.
win number 4?
It feels great, especially this is the first time I won a craft category. So before it's always like a teamwork thing. So this is the first time
So
you're
this is all
putting it.
you.
Yeah, you're putting it out there like solo.
And this was a composite you did. So what were some of the clips you put in there?
It started out with a crosstown. It was a Cubs crosstown promo. My friend Michael Forsley, he helped me cut out. We took pictures like X-Acto knifing out the player, and then we took it around town, and there was like 20 different locations, and then I put them all together in order, so it looked like one consecutive video.
That's
So
great.
it started with that.
Looks really
Yeah, and then it was like NBC Telemundo and NBC Sports like combined one, and then Stuff for the Bulls after that. So
awesome.
it's fun.
So how long have you been working as an editor, especially in the sports arena?
Sports was 2017, but I just changed positions in January for live event editing. So I've been able to make stuff every single day, like trying to be creative. So I have
That seems more difficult because when something is live, you don't quite have the time to finesse things as much as you would on a long-term project. So more difficult, but you're still able to bring in that creativity?
So I produce stuff for the live broadcast, but I get the day to work on it, and then it airs that night. But it's still like a day-to-day turnaround. Like before, when I was working in promos, you'd have like a week or however long, 2 weeks for an image campaign. Now it's like, okay, you got to come up with your idea and do it that day. So
for those who might be watching who perhaps want to get into editing themselves, what sort of skills do you need to be able to not just put things together, but do it in a way that wins you an Emmy?
Honestly, it's just like working with the people around you. When I went to school, I graduated in 2010, and I didn't even use Adobe when I graduated. So it's all like on the job work. Videos I watch, like LinkedIn Learning, different things that you kind of just learn as you go, and then use the senior people that you're working with to kind of bounce ideas off, and then you see what they're doing, and then you're like, okay, I can start using that. You see what other people are doing. Like I'll be watching like Monday Night Football or something with my mom, and then I'm like, stop, like a commercial's like on, and she's like, it's just a commercial. I'm like, no, but like this is the kind of stuff that you look at and you're like, okay, cool, like the graphics come in this way. Like you can kind of learn stuff based off the things that you see. So
You're never just watching TV.
Right.
You're watching and
It's
you're
all an
learning.
education.
All advice from our latest Emmy winner. Again, that's Nikki Wasserman of NBC Sports Chicago. Congratulations to you.
Thank you
Way
so
to go.
much. Thank you.
Congrats.
And we'll be back coming up. We're back with the biggest award, perhaps, of the Chicago Midwest Emmys, and that is the Citation of the Board of Governors, awarded to the Reverend Jesse Jackson. So congratulations to you. This is, in part, of course, civil rights icon, but also you've been in broadcasting yourself. What does this award mean for somebody who has a very, very full mantle, I'm sure?
Overwhelming joy. I'm really surprised. The civil rights movement in the center of the media agenda is a big deal. Human rights, of course, should be measured by one yardstick, and everybody should be a part of that struggle. So to have it properly interpreted is to make all of us better and never bitter.
Mm-hmm. Why did you decide that going on TV would help to spread your message, would help to further the work in civil rights?
More people can instantly get the message. As opposed to getting stale news. Life is happening in real time. So when people look at our quest for educational excellence, who the mediocrity and dropping out of school, that's the right thing to do, you know. Our nation has become too violent. The White House is the internal violence, not just the enemy from without, the enemy from within. Who would take on the government act of treason? Then they debate whether or not he should go to jail. I mean, if he doesn't go to jail, then they should turn jails into libraries and the museums. I mean, this is a terrible thing. And what happened on January the 6th will go down in infamy. It'll never be forgotten. You had
watch that day in horror.
Well, yeah, you had first explosion in South Carolina in 1861, Civil War. This attempt to provoke, maybe somebody would get killed. Just so that people can riot and then have justification to shoot them down. So it makes you very cynical about government and very realistic about the lack of commitment to service.
You know, before we toss to Paris, and also to your son, congratulations. We have the new congressman here with us as well. Wanting to ask, in reading about you, this comes from a bit of a student government geek myself. You were twice served as president of student government, so really leadership from a young age. What is it within you that was so ready to take charge, to change the world?
Well, I was a quarterback in college, high school, college. That's a kind of take charge position, you know. But also, I think I met some people along the way, South Carolina, who were really committed to change and the sense of justice. We had to go to back of the library. We were arrested in the library, arrested trying to use a downtown restaurant.
Arrested in the library for trying to use a library that was only for white people?
Public library, you know. And we worked in the downtown store selling the clothes. We couldn't have an automobile dealership. A lot of that stuff came up, like at Chicago, for example. America has been so right-wing. The civil rights movement has civilized it somewhat. We were born in the sin of genocide, killing Indians, and born in iniquity of racial segregation and slavery. And we were coming out of that period begrudgingly. Good news is that the women are now taking their rightful place in leadership. Blacks and Latinos are taking their rightful place in leadership. That's the America of our dreams. So Trump's talking about making America great again. This is the best we've ever been. Tonight, black, white, brown, Native Americans, Asian Americans here celebrating together. This is the best America's ever been.
The America of our dreams. I like that. Paris, passing it over to you.
All right, so we've got Congressman Jonathan Jackson, Congressman-elect Jonathan Jackson. First of all, I want to get your reaction to your father. I mean, you've seen him win all kinds of honors, but an Emmy. What's your reaction?
Overjoyed, excited, and especially it comes from the hometown. So to feel Chicago love and for the people that know him best, that have worked with him the longest, is a double honor and grateful.
And I have to ask you now, so you're Congressman-elect, you won your race in the 1st Congressional District on the south side, south suburbs. Have you gotten your orientation in Congress yet?
Sure, we've gone through 2 weeks and one more week to go up in Boston. Did 2 weeks in Washington. So I'm learning my way around the
Anything surprise you? That you're learning about this?
You grew up in a political family.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the partisan nature of what's going on there is like really shocking. Like Democrats over here, Republicans over there.
It's not just made for TV.
It's unbelievable. It's like a bad high school, you know, where people are anti something and they haven't had the opportunity to talk and meet one another. Like lines are already drawn. So we're going to do our best to continue to break across those lines.
All right, so Democrats are going to be in the minority. What's your immediate priorities?
Oh, it has to start with gun violence and inflation. Every day you turn on the television, some gun violence, and it's ripping through every neighborhood. And what I'm excited about is in this freshman class of 74 people, there's a new energy. Now there is a generation of people that are the victims, that are the classmates of persons that have been the recipients of gun violence, and they're coming to D.C. to make a difference. So President Biden did something great a month ago in August, 2 months ago in August, and now there's going to be continued momentum. So I can see hope, and I see the light that there's going to be gun reform.
He's calling on an assault weapons ban right now. It might be tough with the Republican-controlled Congress, but every 2 years, that's why there are elections every 2 years. Reverend Jackson, I want to ask you, 40 years on from Harold Washington, what do you make of the current state of the mayor's race? You've got Mayor Lightfoot going for another term, and you've got Chuy Garcia, who's part of that Washington coalition. Are you getting behind anybody?
No, it's premature for me to get involved at that level. I have friends all over the place. We're free to run now. Under the Daley's oppressive regime, you had to be siphoned and vetted through a process that reduced you to being loyal more to the machine than to the people. So it's a new climate now, and people are running. Jonathan, we didn't grow up in a political family. We're not a human rights family.
Human rights family.
Not limited just to politics. If I had been Harold ran for mayor, I would run for Congress. It was not about that. These children of mine grew up in a household that valued human rights and willing to fight back with courage.
What do you believe the mayor's office could accomplish, and is there anybody that you believe could best do so this next race?
The mayor has survived the first term without corruption.
Achievement in Chicago.
Yeah, we've been, it's an achievement in Chicago. She's not been corrupt. She faced a pandemic of COVID, and the city council that has been mixed in its reaction to her. So I think that she will be a strong contender. I think she's able to competition now with Wilson and Brandon are real challenges to her. But let's see how it goes out.
You know, Congressman-elect, I would like to ask you your thoughts on, your dad said that America now is better than it's ever been. Do you agree with that sentiment? There's such division, as is, of course, on display in the Beltway.
And you've seen some of the anti-Semitism come up now, and some of the white supremacy kind of be normalized in some circles.
Well, I think those unfortunate things that are happening are being met with massive resistance. People are fighting back. They're being very vocal, from athletes and entertainers and people in the political realm and people that are corporate, that are showing social responsibility and shutting it down. So that's the fact. And the other part, I absolutely agree. America is better. It's been a work in progress. And I think we're right now just experiencing continued growth pains that America is growing. I'm 56. When I was born, the nation had almost, the population of the nation almost doubled. Like it's 330 million people. It's more diverse. And to see the Democratic caucus is like super exciting. We got Native Americans, we got people from the Pacific Islands, we've got first generation, we got immigrants, we got what I call the dreamers and the believers, African Americans, and Mr. Hakeem Jeffries assuming leadership.
The new Democratic leader in the House, Hakeem Jeffries.
Love Brother Hakeem, love Catherine Clark, love Mr. Garrell. I mean, they're like doing fantastic things. And Mrs. Pelosi paved the way. Mrs. Maxine Waters encouraged Hakeem to run, and it's the fulfillment of things. And Speaker Clyburn.
I was just going to say, how about Clyburn in South Carolina?
You know, I was talking to Mr. Clyburn the other day, and he told me, he says, now I'm dealing with the third generation Jackson. He says he'll never forget when he was running for Secretary of State. He was down in the low country in South Carolina, and Grandma came over there to support him. He couldn't believe it. And so that's many decades ago when he was running for Secretary of State. He's worked with you, he's worked with me. And so he's a wealth of information. He's going to maintain a leadership position. And I'm excited and honored to be there. I wish so much that both of my grandparents could be there. And I want to say a very special thank you to you all and my father. My father's made America better. So when he says that this is the best it's ever been, he's a change agent, a trailblazer that has made it better. And for that, I'm honored that the Emmys is taking the time to thank him and congratulate him.
And the Reverend, I know you wanted to jump in there.
There's a difference between trailblazers and pathfinders. I'm honored tonight that the media sees me now as a whole person, as a leader, not just isolate me on one side of town. Trailblazers, they go where no one's ever been. You push back brushes.
Clear the path for people behind them.
Yeah, you go through bushes and briars and you
Get some cuts
You
along
get
the way.
cut up. Sometimes the cuts bleed so much they become keloid. They never heal. People never forgive you, never appreciate you for what you really are and can be. So tonight I see pathfinders running for president, running for every office in the country now. Attorney General in Las Vegas, Nevada. You know, the governor of Maryland. We're on our way.
What do you feel like, looking back, again, yet another award, another achievement, what is the great accomplishment of your life?
Been to survive physically. We've been under threats so long, so many threats, death threats, real death threats. Health-wise, it's a real challenge. We've worked so hard across the years. I think the real accomplishment politically is bringing Americans back home from foreign jails. Cuba, Yugoslavia, Iraq, bringing Americans back home has been a real gratifying feeling.
Congratulations.
And voter registration. We were on the Southern Crusade in '83 when Harold was running, and you had to vote twice in Mississippi, vote once, and vote county and city. Now, of course, in Texas, we have to a congressional district split up in 4 parts. No blacks ever been a congressperson from there. If that fails, you're a man, we have 5 more blacks in Congress there, and Pelosi will keep her job. So we're still fighting on cleaning up it up. I also think that we should now fight for every American to be registered to vote automatically. The census should determine who votes where. I mean, not the millions of Latinos in Texas unregistered, they'll never register to vote. Language problems, fear of deportation, all kinds of stuff, harassment. So we're fighting for democracy in Ukraine. Let's try it at home as well.
So much left to do. And I know, of course, the Rainbow Push Coalition still at it.
Well, we're still fighting hate. You know, anti-Semitism is on the rise, anti-Asian bashing, anti-black. Children are being taught that stuff by parents and by the media. We must learn to live together, brothers and sisters, not die apart as fools. We have a big choice to make there. Soul of America is about freedom versus containment. Lincoln said freedom, one America, more perfect union. Jeff Davis said slavery, segregation, secession, sedition, white male supremacy. Republicans, when I grew up, the South Democrats, Wallace Democrats, all the Southern bigots were Democrats. When Goldwater came on, running against Lyndon Johnson, he brought the South into the Republican Party. And so Southern Republicans, like Dr. King's father, they became Democrats, So the parties really switched parties based upon race. And it just should not be. We must be more civil in that 2023.
Almost 2023. We're getting there, huh?
Getting real fast.
All right.
Well, thank you so very much, and congratulations
History in
again,
the making.
Reverend Jesse Jackson, and thank you so much,
Congressman Jonathan Jackson, to future conversations, I hope, on Chicago tonight and on
We'll get you
policy
some
and
water in
everything.
just a moment. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. We'll be right back after this. Thanks a lot. We are back here live on the Emmy Backstage show, as I like to call it, Emmys After Dark. We got another winner with us and his nephew as well. So we've got Ivan Garcia from WGBO. You have won for Outstanding Craft Achievement for directing.
Yes, that's
Congratulations.
correct. Thank you.
How do you feel?
I feel very excited and happy to be here. So
And this is number 12?
I think it is number 12.
All right, so where are you going to put that on your
Sometime you
mantle?
have so many.
It's gonna go into, I don't know, my nephew's room or whatever.
All right. All right, so does your nephew want to say a couple words about his uncle?
Yeah, what makes him a cool uncle?
Very good.
It's just cool.
So, yeah.
What goes into directing for people that perhaps don't really know how busy of a job that is?
And
You
stressful.
don't have any rest.
It's a stressful job.
I mean, you wear every hat. It's just about having a great team with you to support you and all the way. And that's pretty much it. When you have a great team, everything flows so smoothly. But I mean, but you have to be on top.
Any disaster stories that you can share with us? We're at the Backstage show.
The disaster stories? No, I don't have.
None.
None. Maybe after the shot is over, we all keep the wardrobe and we do a party, a thematic party with the wardrobe, and that's it.
That sounds fun. Now, question: do you name your Emmys now that you got a whole family?
No, I don't. I just well, I can put this one a name, but
What would you name her?
No, I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Do you want to be a director when you grow up, or what are you thinking of going into? Has the Emmys inspired you?
Yes.
Let me ask you this, Ivan. So the story is Refrescar es cosa de leyendas. What's the story about?
yeah, it's a campaign for Topo Chico hard seltzer that we did. It was like a 3-month long journey where we took the audience between the commercials from this. We were featuring this artist from Mexico, a regional artist, and we ended up in a concert with 20,000 people. So it was part of it. So that was what we did,
All
pretty
right,
much.
Ivan Garcia, Outstanding Craft Achievement for directing, the winner in that category. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Number 12.
Thank you.
All right.
And nice to meet you. Fist bump.
We'll be back with more winners in just a moment. And we're back. We've got two more winners, Ken Daybeck and Ron Cook. Outstanding Crafts Achievement for audio, live recorded for Pagliacci at the Lyric Opera of Chicago. We talked to you in the red carpet show before. You guys were all excited. How does it feel to win?
Great. Great. We're happy.
Yep.
We're
How's
happy.
that Emmy feel, like physically?
It's weighty. It's weighty.
It's weighty.
Can I touch it? Oh my God, there it is.
It's weighty.
There you go.
It is
Yeah, it's
weighty.
beautiful.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
it is.
So what does this mean? This lyric production now? You've notched an Emmy for the Lyric Opera of Chicago.
Yeah.
Is this the Lyric's
among
first
the other
Emmy?
awards that Lyric has won.
I have no idea.
Okay.
But I
we
will
don't
say
know.
this, the thing that I'm most proud of is doing it during COVID.
Yeah.
Because we had to go up. I mean,
You had to invent things on the fly.
It was a big, big production.
Right.
Much unlike it would have been had we done it in a regular environment.
Right.
Well, so we sort of talked about this earlier, how many microphones you had, literally dozens. But what other restrictions, what else made it so different than a regular production? People had to be spaced apart, taking masks on and off?
Yes, all of the above.
Yeah, and that was, like I said before, that was even why I was even there, was because I had the gear to record 70, 80 channels.
Yeah.
Where normally it's, what, that would have been 10, 15 maybe?
Yeah.
Did you have to call your friends and borrow some? Who on earth has all
We
that
actually had to
equipment?
borrow some from TC Furlong, so yeah.
Hey, he's a Channel 11 guy, TC Furlong.
Yeah, he did a lot of the soundstage stuff.
He did.
And
He did.
that was my first job out of college. It was with
Oh.
him. So I worked for him for 6.5 years, and then they actually, HMS Media actually brought him in on this project, and he's the one that called me in on it.
I
A lot
love
of
all these
connections there.
It really is a community.
So, all right. So, in celebration, does anyone want to sing Pagliacci?
No. But
No one's gonna sing. I'm not gonna sing it.
But it was great.
It was, yeah.
And
Watch it.
they had great
Amazing.
So
T-shirts.
here's a question:
Okay.
can folks still watch this now that it's an Emmy award-winning production? Is this online? Can people still give it a viewing?
I think that you can submit and subscribe to see it. I believe still, because it's really compelling and the cool. And
Now they
they'll put it back
will.
up. But you know the really cool thing is subtitles when you watch it online, so you can understand the story, and it's fantastic.
That is so.
I've
That
got
is
to
so
admit,
crucial.
I watch subtitles with pretty much anything.
All right. Ken
There's a new way of
Daybeck,
viewing.
Ron Cook, congratulations to both of you, sincerely, and enjoy the evening.
Thank you guys.
All right, we're coming back. Stay tuned. Don't go away.
And we're breezing right on back to this fabulous couch where we have the opportunity to check in with some of the winners, including we have right now with us Chris Reese, who is the weather anchor and won for Outstanding Crafts Achievement for On-Camera Talent for Weathercast. Now this was an award from WISC in Madison, Wisconsin, but you're going from Madison to Minnesota.
Yes, Wisconsin to Minnesota. So earlier this week, I started a new job in Minneapolis, but the past 5 years have been in Madison, Wisconsin, where I won
Now
this
that
award.
makes for a very busy week, of course, but similar weather patterns, right?
Similar weather patterns, though.
Your forecast is going to be 10 degrees colder,
They're
I think.
colder, yes.
Already.
It was 2 degrees in Minnesota this morning. I don't
Oh,
think
a balmy
Chicago's that
too.
cold. So
It's
is
a heat
been
wave.
cold. Yeah. So, and then on the second day of work, we got 9 inches of snow. So it was a
Get used
busy
to it.
start right off
Are
the
you
bat.
excited about this?
I love the snow.
I mean, Madison is a pretty fun weather town too, especially with all the lakes and all the stuff you get off of the 2 lakes there. So, what does this mean? Is this your first Emmy?
This is my first Emmy.
Congratulations!
It's a big deal. Thank you. In 2014, I was a college student, and one of my professors said, "People who look like you aren't typically smart enough to be a meteorologist." So
What's that supposed to even mean?
It was based on my race. And so he said, you might want to consider changing your major. You're struggling in this class, and I don't think you're going to have what it takes. Don't waste your time. And today I won an Emmy for becoming a meteorologist, and earlier this week I started a job as a meteorologist in the 14th largest market in this country.
I was just saying, giant market.
Yeah.
So to that
You
professor,
showed them.
you know, this one's for you, I guess.
Absolutely.
Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
Best
I
of luck
appreciate
in
it.
Minneapolis.
Thank you.
Maybe
Once
come
again,
back down to Chicago
that's
one day.
Chris.
We'll find out.
That is Chris Reese, who just won this award for weather, and great things are coming. Maybe some awful things coming to Minnesota in terms of snow. But we'll be back with more coming up.
Stock up on those
Congratulations
jackets
again,
and hats and gloves and parkas and all that. All right.
We'll be back coming up.
All right, we are back here on the Backstage show with our finely feathered winner of the outstanding, everything's better with the feather, outstanding achievement for on-camera talent, news anchor Mary Stoker-Smith from WITI. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Is this your first for this category? Have you won before?
It's my second, actually. I won last year, but as everybody knows, it was remote, so this just feels even more electric and more personal, just to be able to be in front of your colleagues and thank your family and friends. So this is really nice.
And what does it mean to be recognized by your peers in a big market like Milwaukee as the anchor at such an important position?
It really, thank you very much. It's, you know, it's so meaningful. It means a lot to me, but it also, it may sound a little cheesy, but to serve the community that we do, that's really what it's all about. And I think to thank my family who sacrificed so much. You know, my husband who puts up with the crazy hours. I called, said, thanks for putting up with my high maintenance self. You know what I mean? You know, buying the feathers.
You're high maintenance, but serving others.
But
and
serving
doing
others,
so.
exactly. So it just means so much to the community, and just being able to say thank you to family who's, you know, just deals with the moving around as we've done for years and the weird hours. It's really nice.
You know, some people I think just assume that anchoring is reading a teleprompter.
Yeah,
it is
right.
So much more. What does it take to be the one who took home the Emmy in this category?
Thanks for saying that. That means a lot. You know, it really is about the community. It's about going out to events, making yourself tangible to know that, you know, so the community knows that you're there for them, serving them in the way that they want to be heard. Talk about my ideas, what's important to me, what solutions can I have for, you know, either medical bills or bad parking or bad water or whatever it is in the community.
Things so many of us put up with and get angry about.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so important and it means a lot. So it's nice to be able to do that, and we all kind of feel like one big community there. The other thing we really press that I'm in front of is the breast cancer walk, making strides against breast cancer. We do a lot with that, and so we send out a monthly reminder to do self-exams. One of the biggest honors I have is when a woman will write me and say, I got my mammogram because you reminded me, and it caught something, and that's what it's all about. That's cool.
Local news anchors, it's the most trusted position, I think, in the country. I mean, especially as people criticize journalism for this and that, local news anchors still have that trust, and I know that's probably very important to you.
It's important. It's kind of daunting sometimes because you're like, oh wow, I got a lot of
a lot of responsibility.
It really is, and I want to make sure I'm doing the public to the best I can. So it's an honor. It's a pleasure. It's something we take very seriously.
Well, again, congratulations to you, and of course we'll all be watching as we have the RNC going to
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
So yes, right. All eyes will be.
It's a big swing state every year now, so it's pretty interesting come election time.
RNC, our Packers are kind of out, unfortunately.
Well, they're playing our Bears in about 12 hours, and
we're all nervous. Let me tell you something.
I wouldn't be nervous.
We could lose every single game of the year, but when we come to Bear territory, it's like, well, we got to win this, or that's a shame. It's like the walk of shame all the way back to Lambeau. So we got that, but we do got the Bucks going for us.
You got the Bucks going. We'll have to stop at the Brat Stop and root on the game.
Don't forget the cheese.
And get some cheese and get some beer. Get some New Glarus.
Yeah, oh, good.
Leinenkugel.
Spotted cow.
Spotted cow. Oh, my fridge. My entire fridge is spotted cow right now.
This is hardcore journalism and celebrating the best of the best, and including you.
Mary Stoker-Smith, WITI.
Appreciate it. Thanks for all you guys. Thanks for all you do. Mwah. Pleasure to be here.
You bet. Nice to meet you.
And we are back with the Backstage show at the 64th annual Chicago Midwest Emmys, and our latest winner is Scott Marvel, who won for Outstanding Public Service Announcement. Give us shirt. Give us shirts. Yeah. I watch The Good Place. Give a shirt.
Yeah, give a shirt.
What are people supposed to be giving a shirt about besides everything?
Well, it's a funny thing. We started a campaign. I screen print T-shirts and make TV commercials. So we started a campaign called Give a Shirt, where we have local artists design shirts. I hand screen them in my basement, and 100% of the profit goes to Streetwise. But then, because we make videos, we thought, Well, what people really give a shirt, you know? So we've made 3 episodes now of people that make a change in the world. It's a series. We want to make 30 of them and have a channel, you know? So
You
it's
could probably go with 3 million. I mean, if you
right,
really keep going.
right. So it's like a good news thing, but the formula is people see something in the world, they're going about their life, and for whatever reason, they make a change. You know, so we did one about a lady who was a lawyer, and she volunteered at a pet hospital on the weekends and saw people or a pet adoption, saw people bringing back their pets because landlords were kicking them out because of pets, like forcing them out. So she stopped that job and started a foundation to help people keep their pets. So this one was about a lady who was told to get rid of the homeless in LA for business purposes. They were trying to invigorate business. She's like, we can't just sweep the streets. So she started talking to the homeless, and it's called Radical Hospitality. So they just started a program called Radical Hospitality.
So it sounds like you're really growing this whole concept. It started just with the shirts, with Give a Shirt, and you want to make this maybe like a national campaign?
Yes, yeah.
So tell us what your hopes and dreams are.
Well, I would love to have a channel where, you know, you come home from work on a Friday night, instead of watching the If It Bleeds, It Leads news, you know, you get to watch, you turn it on, you get to see inspiring people. It kind of comes from a Mr. Rogers place, you know, like people are doing.
I know a show, a news program on a certain station that likes to air stuff like that. But
yeah, exactly. It's about, like, let's put good into the world. And I feel like it's our responsibility as people that have this power to tell stories, and stories sell, you know. Let's tell stories about people that are doing great things in the world.
And now it's recognized with an Emmy, so how does that feel?
Yeah, that feels great. It feels really, really good.
It feels marvelous, one might say. Once again, that is Scott Marvel, who clearly gives a big shirt about all of the many things and is using what his powers and abilities to share that with the world. So thank you and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'd sport
So
one
nice
of
to
those
meet
shirts,
you.
by the way, so you let us know. We'll exchange
All right,
info.
thank you.
We'll be back with more after that. And we're back. So here's the thing. When we do stories, news productions, shows, you have to know to watch it. And we therefore have folks such as these fellows on the couch with us now to thank for their promotion skills. I am joined right here next to me by CJ Dugan, who has just won an Emmy. Hold it up, show that baby off. There we go. For Outstanding Achievement for News Promotion. And this is for WGN Skilling Hero. Of course, this is about Tom Skilling.
He is everybody's hero, I mean, already.
It is
How
Tom
do you
freaking Skilling,
promote
yes.
Tom Skilling? Everybody already knows and loves the guy.
Andrew coined the phrase that Tom is kind of our Elvis at WGN. So sometimes when you need to promote the weather programming, you go for your Elvis. And we pitched this idea to Tom. Oh, first I pitched it to Andrew and to Jeff, and it's kind of a little oddball idea, but they said yes. And then we ran with it. And Tom was a great sport. And the whole experience winning was great, but it is, your brain kind of seizes up. So I want this opportunity just to also thank Christy Stone and Vince Taggel, and of course, Tom Skilling, because I went up there and my brain just kind of did one of those, things. And it just means a lot to me to recognize other people, because Christy did some great design, Vince helped me shoot it, and Tom just rolled with the idea. It's not every day where you're like, we want to pitch you as a Batman character for a serious news promotion, and he was like, okay. And he went out and he nailed it. So thank you, Tom, for being so cool about running with our crazy ideas. So it means a lot to me.
Sometimes those crazy ideas are the best ones and win you an Emmy.
And so we got Andrew Lenny too, who also won for Backstory, the work you did on Backstory, which is that great series with Larry Potash on WGN. So what specifically was this promotion about?
This was about a new season of Larry's show. Larry, as you may know, is into all sorts of things. He loves history. He loves the 70s. He's obsessed with the 1970s. And he also loves 1980s music. And he loves mob history. So he's managed to combine all these things in one show. And
How come no one thought of this earlier?
Because,
combining these things into a show.
Because nobody's Larry.
No one's Larry Potash.
No one's Larry. Larry's a very, very special human being. And he has great ideas, and he lets us come up with good stuff.
And how does it feel to be recognized by your peers, to get this hardware?
It's great. It'll go nice next to my colleagues here. We'll toast.
Toast.
I love it. So again, these two fellows from WGN, a team really that just won for outstanding promotion of a news program and of, let's see, a program promotion and then news promotion. There we go. Lots of promotion. I'm going to promote coming up that we will have more winners joining us on this couch in just a bit, but we're going to take a very short break. Congrats again, fellas.
Thank you.
Nice job. Congrats. All right, we're back here with Sam Hogerton and Rob Schoonover. They have won in category 19B, short form content for a story called A Brother's Journey. Now, this was a piece you produced for Children's Hospital in Wisconsin. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Well, Sam is the executive producer. You tell him how this originated.
Yeah, so the video really tells the story behind. You want me to look over?
Wherever you like. As long as
It
doesn't matter. We're all a team.
The video tells the story behind the largest single donation ever to Children's Wisconsin. It follows Jeff Ibuki, who's the former CEO of Fiserv, who made a $20 million gift to reevaluate how we're addressing the pediatric mental and behavioral health crisis. And it talks about how he lost his brother Craig to suicide a few years ago, and how that created a realization to want to do something, and then discovered this program that was happening at Children's that'll put a therapist in every pediatrician's office by the end of 2023. So when we evaluate a kid's physical health, we're evaluating their mental health on the same level.
Because it really is a crisis.
Right.
Yeah,
And the biggest thing is, we want, through this video, we want people to know that mental health is equal to physical health. So when you go to the doctor, they're both the same thing. And we're trying to destigmatize and just make it part of the routine.
Someone said earlier tonight too that the people in this room, we get to use our superpowers as storytellers to help get the word out there, and I think we were fortunate to be able to tell a story that I think is changing the world, and if our video piece gets to be a part of that in some small way too, then that means more than the trophy.
It seems like something that shouldn't be such a novel idea, and yet it is.
We're still catching up. We're getting there, and we're on our way.
You're making a huge impact, and you're recognized by your peers now with an Emmy. So how does that feel?
I mean, it feels great. I have lots of friends here in the audience, and Foodie just won right before us, which is, they're peers of us and things like that. And I mean, it feels good to have the work recognized, but also feels good to share the message on this stage.
Absolutely.
You know that more people are hearing your
It's a
message,
big platform,
taking
and
it
a lot
to
of
heart.
influential people to hear that. All right, Sam Hogerton and Rob Schoonover.
Thank
Congratulations.
you.
Thanks very much.
Thanks so much, guys. Yeah.
Back in a bit.
Happy Saturday. Let's go.
There you go. Is it still Saturday?
Back on the Backstage Emmys, and this is for a production called Fill These Shoes, and we have a whole lot of folks in this, actually, I believe, best attended ever Chicago Midwest Emmys, whose shoes cannot be filled, including folks who produce things like this and therefore are taking home Emmys, joined right now by Haley Rossi, as well as Cody Hilliard and Rob Kazmark. There we go. Sorry about that, Rob. You're probably used to a little bit of butchering of the last name. Apologies there. So, Haley, I'm going to begin with you. Fill These Shoes is what? What sort of shoes are we talking? High heels?
So it's a piece about a young boy who's kind of looking to find out what his passion is in life and what his goal is. And he finds inspiration in a priest and kind of looks to emulate that and kind of fill his shoes after he kind of passes on that tradition.
That's awesome. And again, this is the Outstanding Achievement for Branded Content, Short and Long Form Content. Cody, what was your role in this project?
So for this project specifically, I was the writer, I directed it, and then I was also the director of photography.
So really, you cannot fill your shoes. That's a lot of shoes to wear.
Yeah, no, but it was a lot of fun, and there was also a lot of other talented people behind this project, and it wouldn't have been possible without their help as well. So I'm very thankful for them, and yeah.
And Rob, how about your role in this?
The producer on there, so I get to kind of sit behind and just encourage all the great talent that we have. So Cody is just a phenomenal director of photography. Haley is just one of the best producers we have. And so, working with the Archdiocese of Chicago for this, to promote vocations and to promote young men considering the priesthood, which is not something, it's on the top of a lot of young people, but it's something that I think is needed. And so we wanted to create a piece that was just cinematic and eye-catching to make people stop for a second and think about, that option.
It's a novel concept, a novel way to get people sort of maybe paying attention to this whole issue, because I know the church is struggling with recruiting new people into the fold, younger people in the fold. What's it like working with the Archdiocese?
The Archdiocese is great. They are very encouraging of different creative ways, because when you think of Catholic media, it's not, you don't think it was super engaging. And so whenever we're able to sort of creatively do different stuff, they were very supportive of that. So we're able to do some really, I would say, outstanding things in this piece.
You have a chance to change the brand here, perhaps.
That's the goal.
All right, congratulations to all three of you. Well done. Thanks for being here with us. All right, be back in just a bit. Poof, we're back. We've got some more big winners here. So this is Chan C. Smith, Alex Hans, and Dennis Bannon. They won for the best commercial campaign, and this is for the Illinois Department of Health's On the Fence campaign, getting everyone out there to get the COVID vaccination. So tell us what went into putting this campaign together.
This was really, the biggest thing about this was finding the stories of people around the state who were on the fence and made a decision to get vaccinated. And you know, remember a while back, I mean, it was a pretty big decision because there were some concerns about safety, and we targeted Southern Illinois where their vaccination levels were low, and had people in those communities tell us their stories about why they got vaccinated.
So Jan, you had to go all across the state. What was the strangest or craziest experience you had going to different corners of the state and trying to find these stories?
Oh man, I mean, it was just interesting to see all of the different parts of the state of Illinois. So of course I'm from Chicago, you know, we see all the city things, but then you go to like a Salem, Illinois, or Danville, and things look completely different. So you know, I think the most interesting part was trying to find some food. Yeah, I think.
You got some monocles. You got some
Monocles, how you say it. Monocles.
I'm from Chicago. What do I know?
We're talking pizza. Yeah, next time you travel, you just let me know.
Steak and chips.
I've gone to a big part of Illinois. I can help you out there. Alex, I know you've been a lot of places, and of course, I'm a journalist, so it's part of our job to find a story.
Yeah,
But
we cover you, Alex.
You do this as well in terms of finding people who are willing to share what was really a very personal decision. How do you find those folks?
You know, we really looked for, people that, had similar experiences but had different backgrounds. And, we really looked from the top to the bottom of the state. And, Chan, Dennis, and the whole team, I mean, really expertly, really connected with people and allowed them to feel safe and to share their personal experiences that connected with so many others. So
And this was shooting in 9 locations or 9 days or both?
oh boy, it was, 9 days in November and December, then another couple days in February. So, I mean, it was over 24 interviews over
Pop quiz, where all did you go?
Oh goodness.
Let's
see, Greenville, we've got no.
But you can try. All right,
I can't get all of this. Let's see.
St. Louis, Danville.
Yeah, Danville, let's see, Peoria, we were in Eureka. For 2 people were in Eureka, go figure. A bunch of places in the city and the suburbs as well.
Anything else to add, Jan, in terms of now, obviously, the narrative around vaccinations has changed to a degree. People are still on the fence. What?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's understandable. I think that people have like real fears about what vaccines can do, especially, one big thing was specifically in communities of color, just the whole myth about, or not even myth, because it was something, the Tuskegee experiments and everything like that. But I think that, medicine has changed now, and so I think they were really just trying to make sure that everybody was safe. I know for me personally, I was just like, I can't afford to get COVID. I can't afford to pass it on to my mom. I can't afford to do any of that. So I was all in, like our branding is. Yeah.
So you guys, you all got people vaccinated, and now you have an Emmy as a result. So congratulations to all of you. Well done. All right, back in a moment.
and more backstage fun here at the 64th Annual Chicago Midwest Emmys. Joined now by Red Clark, Leilani Fernandez, and Maria Anderson, who've just won an Emmy for this is Outstanding Achievement for Child, Youth, Short and Long Form with Maria's Nature Notebook. So, Maria, that's you. What is Maria's Nature Notebook?
So we are an educational program where we teach nature to children ages 4 to 10, and adults can definitely learn from it too. But we learn from all sorts of things. We learn about bees, and we learn about mushrooms, and whatever other aspects of nature. But we make it fun and exciting. And then, of course, my daughter here plays a younger version of me in the show, so that is so awesome to be able to work with her on this project as well.
Oh, that's interesting. So, what's it like playing your mother as a young girl?
It's actually pretty interesting, considering that I also get to learn new things that I haven't already known, and it gives me a better understanding of what's actually going around in our environment.
Teach us something. For folks who maybe haven't had the chance to watch Maria's Nature Notebook, can you share a fact about nature? Something that might surprise or inspire people?
Something that might surprise or inspire people could be nature isn't always as it seems, or it could be a deeper meaning to a plant or an animal rather than just how it looks or how it grows.
Any specific examples? What's a favorite episode?
Probably the one about bees, because we learned how we really need bees to live because of how they help our environment a lot.
They're so important, and what I love about bees is they do a little butt dance, I believe, to get folks back to their hive. I love that notion. All right, Red, what is your role on Maria's Nature Notebook?
I direct, edit, and collaborate with everybody on the show, and I've had the privilege of working with Maria and Leilani. They're amazing. We work with the Chicago Botanic Garden, and cook.
Place.
Yeah, it's beautiful there, but it's also just a great resource for science, learning, classes. There's lots of educational stuff going on there, and so this is an outreach that the Cook County really, Tony Preckwinkle, Nick Shields, the entire Cook County team over there, they had this idea, Project Rainbow, and it was just this educational outreach, free educational stuff on TV. And so we just had a great time participating in that. The Chicago Botanic Garden, doing this content that's really a throwback to shows like Mr. Rogers or Reading Rainbow or things like that we grew up with. And so we love doing it. It was just so
fabulous.
fun.
So
How old
where
are you?
can we watch this?
Kidding. All right, with that.
Wait, where can we watch this show?
So you can watch it it usually airs on Can TV. You can also watch it on YouTube under Project Rainbow. If you go to the Project Rainbow site or the app and search Maria's Nature Notebooks, you can find us. Again, Project Rainbow is a great project under Cook County, and we are so excited for season 3.
Season 3 coming out. All right, so I work for WTTW. I hope some WTTW execs are listening to this. What a great concept for a show, and now they won an Emmy.
We've got to go.
Emmy
but I'm
Award
guessing
winners.
Our youngest
All
Emmy
right.
winner, Leilani, how old are you?
12.
12 years old and an Emmy winner already. We'll be
All
back
right.
with more coming
A lot
up.
of promise. All right.
You. Backstage at the Emmys, we have the privilege of speaking with some of the folks that we met initially on the red carpet. And this includes some of the projects behind the lost story of Emmett Till, Trial of the Delta, and the one for Outstanding Achievement for Human Interest. I'm going to start with the guy on my right. And so, Willie Round, you said this is incredible for you. How are you feeling? Why is this so amazing?
It's amazing because the story continues to live on. Something that was hidden, the transcripts was hidden for 50 years, and now they're out. And Mamie Till, initial reason for, putting her son's face on Vibe magazine was because she wanted to keep the casket open and make people aware of the racism that was going on in the South. So this is our way of keeping that casket open, and that's why I'm so excited. I'm honored to be sharing this vital story with so many, so people can go out and do the research and find out the history for themselves.
Such an important story. Wow, keeping that casket open. Saudia Davis, you tell us about your role on this team, and congratulations.
Thank you. So, producer, working with Collabor Action, and the truth has to be told, and it's so important that we are so much better when we work together, when we figure out things, but our history has to be told, and told in truth. And that's one thing that Collabor Action does. And so it was such a privilege to work with the entire team. And also, Collabor Action worked with a news station to make this happen. 5 cameras on the NBC floor. So thanks to Marion Brooks for bringing this to life, and Kevin Cross and the entire NBC team. It's been a privilege, and I'm so excited. And thank you, G. Riley Mills. It is such a team effort. We also have one of our actors here. So, one thing I will say is when we do the hardest work, Emmett Till and his life and his legacy, we honored the family before we took it public. But we also, the actors, apologized for the words that they would have to say, because it's so hard and offensive and raw, but it's real. And it's still things that are happening today. Young black men are being killed on our streets today, and women. So although it was hard and difficult to say those words, they were empowered by us, and they delivered. And we're just really thankful to be able to carry this life's legacy. It's streaming on Peacock, so that people will understand the history.
In Paris, over to you, because I'm sure that perhaps our actor there, Braden, might have some information on
okay,
what
so
it was like.
what role do you play, and what's it like to win an Emmy? I mean, you want to win a Jeff or a Tony when you're an actor, but now you got an Emmy.
Definitely exciting. I played a witness in the trial, and I played Robert Hodges. I found the body, and it was a very powerful, emotional experience, and I was just very, very honored to be able to play a part in telling the story.
I'm sure learning about the entire history of this story has been quite an experience for you.
Definitely, yeah. It was quite an experience, and it was almost bittersweet because of the actual
the actual event, like what actually happened,
like what was
happened
going.
to Emmett Till.
Yes, it was very deep, and it was a traumatic event that happened. So it was really almost bittersweet because it was powerful, but also something difficult to talk about.
All right, now you guys got a big victory here in front of your peers. What does this mean?
It's very exciting. We're honored to be part of this project. Willie was my co-writer. We took 500 pages of court transcripts.
Right.
We had to carve out and find the story in there. And so we're just really honored to continue the legacy of Emmett Till and Mamie Till, Willie Reed, all the courageous people who helped make that trial, helped speak for Emmett when he couldn't speak for himself.
This is such a fun night. So many really amazing things, fabulous outfits going on, and yet there is a lot of serious story behind it, particularly the story of Emmett Till, and as you put it, really keeping that casket open. So we're going to take a short break, but congratulations again to each of you for telling that important story. Awesome.
We are back here with Brad Guidera and Angel Melendez, two big winners here in the category of Outstanding Achievement for Information/Instructional. So you won for Drawn to Combat, Bill Malden and the Art of War. Wow, this seems like a pretty intense project. Tell us about it.
Oh yeah, so the project was focused on telling the story of a cartoonist who served in World War II. He dedicated his life to cartooning and wanted to serve in the military and was able to tell very detailed stories about the men who were on the front line and kind of just shed some light as to the reality of what the situation was on the front line in comparison to what the world, I would say the Army was trying to convey to the U.S. Media. It was like
so he had the real story.
He had the real story,
and he happened to be a cartoonist.
He happened to be a cartoonist, yeah.
Fascinating.
Such power in imagery, as those of us that are in television media, film, certainly know the power that images, cartoons as well can hold. Brad, tell us a little bit about your role on this project and the significance of telling a story that goes back in time and how it's relevant today.
Sure. Well, this project came to as a kind of a need during the pandemic. We at the Pritzker Military Museum and Library, we're a museum. We count on people being in the halls itself. We couldn't do that over 2020, so we produced these virtual tours. One last year, one this year for the Bill Malden Drawn to Combat project, and I felt like we grew from our last virtual tour. Can you repeat the question?
No, it's okay. It's a bit nerve-wracking a little bit. I mean, you're coming off some fresh excitement.
Yes, very excited. Yes.
And so obviously it is a museum, and we learn so much from our history. Is there a particular takeaway that you wanted folks to know, going back to World War II and now to right now, America is of course not directly involved in combat, but thinking of something like Ukraine sending over weapons. How is this relevant to an audience today? What is the message?
Well, I think it's maybe just calling attention, kind of what Angel touched on, to what kind of the reality of war is. I think sometimes we get this, maybe some in the media is swinging, but Bill Malden kind of told it how it was, for better or worse, and he was able to get that point across, much to the chagrin of some of the upper echelon of the Army. So
those are, again, some of the most important stories to tell, the ones that folks want uncovered. Angel, can people watch this still?
Yeah, no, so I think the most important thing that I took away from it is that his cartoons were essentially focused on addressing issues of his time: social injustice, racism, all the issues, environmental issues, and what makes it so relevant is that we're still dealing with these issues today. And so even though he started his cartooning career in the military, he got out of the military, he worked for Chicago Sun-Times, he did cartooning there, and he was able to really attack politicians who were corrupt, and he was always going after like the presidents and certain political figures. And those issues that he was dealing with during those times are still relevant today. And so I think we have to look at that and realize like how much has things changed from the time that he was serving in the military in 1945, 46, and now in 2022. How much has that changed? I think that's the question we'd like to leave with people and maybe spark some kind of call to action.
All right. Well, then people are going to. Where can they see this now?
So right now we have it on our website, pritzkermilitary.org.
Pritzker Military Library.
Yes. And then we also we have a YouTube page. We've been expanding a lot of our content on YouTube. So you could probably look up Drawn to Combat, Bill Malden and the Art of War. You could look that up, and you'll find it on YouTube as well.
All right. The
Now
Emmy
an Emmy
Award-winning
yes.
Drawn to Combat, Bill Malden and the Art of War. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Congrats.
Coming right back. We're back, and I am joined by, okay, let me get the name right on the card. It's Eddie Griffin of WTTW. Mike, do I have that correct?
Well, hello, Paris.
Hello, Ed. We've worked together at the same place for about, what, 17 or 18 years or something like that?
Just a tick over 17, but who's
right.
counting?
So we started when we were 5. Eddie, congratulations.
Now
so
I got gray hair.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, that was just going to say that.
Speak for yourself. All right. So we got outstanding achievement for documentary Beyond Chicago from the Air. I know you put a lot of the work into this, Eddie. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You produced this with our esteemed colleague Jeffrey Baer. So what does it mean to win this for this incredible? Well, first of all, tell the folks about this documentary.
So this was we call it the drone show. This was a drone tour of part 1 was of Chicago. And then part 2 tonight was about, we expanded and went beyond Chicago and did the state of Illinois.
Right.
Yes. So we tried to make Illinois look as exotic as possible from 500 feet in the
There
air.
are some differences in the geography, right? I mean,
When you
it's
get a
not
little
all
bit further
flatland.
away, there's a lot of parks and the Mississippi River. So yeah, it was pretty beautiful.
And I should mention, we also have Colin Hinkle here and Lori Ardrell. All right, so Colin, what was your role in this project, and what does it feel like to win?
So I was the drone pilot for the show.
Oh my gosh,
I
what
was
an
the one that
awesome
was on the
job.
road, traveling all over the state of Illinois, capturing these different locations. I mean, they really found some interesting spots in Illinois, spots that I've been here my entire life and I never heard of. So it was actually a very, very interesting show to work on.
I remember some of the banks of the Mississippi River there, some of like the bluffs and stuff that you captured. That was amazing.
Yeah, it becomes mountainous.
It's
down toward the
Illinois,
bottom of our
flat
state.
Illinois. It's got some mountains. Like,
yeah, we
who
have some
knew?
really nice hills down there, some very nice vistas of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
Garden of the Gods, and I mean, it's so many things. And let me just say, it is amazing and encouraging to see so many of our
This is Miss
colleagues.
Illinois right here, Amanda Vinicki, so you don't have to sell her on how great Illinois is.
But it's great to have so many amazing works recognized tonight, but it is even more meaningful when it is your colleagues and your friends. So what is it like to be bringing home an Emmy tonight?
It is absolutely amazing. It's wonderful. It's so nice to be here with such a great team, Eddie and Colin, and it's so exciting. And it's really, really nice to know that everybody else loves the show as much as we do. It's a beautiful show, it's a great show, and we just couldn't be more happy and proud.
Not everybody can travel the whole state. It actually takes quite some time. I don't know how many hours it would take to get to Cairo, but
6
miles.
But anything that you learned about Illinois that you want to share, a particular destination that maybe from drone looks really awesome, so people can visit our website and at WTTW and learn more?
Absolutely. What people should know about our show is that within a short distance of Chicago, not too far of a drive, you can go to these amazing places with so much like historic value, education value, places you wouldn't think about going that are, less than like a 3-hour drive away. And you learn so much about them and you experience, just a different vibe and a different energy. And it's all within, a short driving distance, and it's beautiful. It's not just Chicago that people think of, oh yeah, Illinois, I'm gonna go to Chicago. There's so much more to our beautiful state.
And to entice you to do so, you can, of course, watch this drone coverage that is now Emmy Award winning.
Oh,
so
WTTW.
there you go.
Congrats, Eddie.
Congratulations.
Good job.
We are back behind the stage at the 64th Annual Chicago Midwest Emmys, and let me tell you, this couch is a very happy one. Gotta say, a little bit of a conflict of interest, but I'm gonna admit it, this is another WTTW win, so congrats team, congrats pals.
Home team, home
this
team.
This is awesome. This is an outstanding achievement for a historical documentary, and this is Chicago Stories, a great series that WTTW does that is just that, stories about Chicago, but really deep dives. This particular win is for the Union Stockyard. So I'm gonna start with Dan Andrews here. Congratulations. Tell us a little bit about this project. I mean, I know it is a huge undertaking. Distill it down.
Yeah, so, the Union Stockyards is a place, but we told the story of industrial meat and industrial capitalism in Chicago. That's kind of the story we told. And we told it through the lens of Philip Danforth Armour's packing houses. And it's about labor abuse, it's about environmental destruction, it's about slaughtering animals, it's about cheap meat, it's about the public's love of it, all that stuff. So it was a blast. Oh, and of course the killing of the bison. I forgot that. Yeah, slaughtering bison to make room for cattle.
So bringing it down a little bit, but all right, we're gonna bring it right back on up because there's so much talent on this couch right now. We're gonna get to the writing in just a bit, but I want to first start with Patty. Congrats! You do the editing, bringing this all together. Really, it's sort of weaving together a story. What do you do in terms of this is a historical documentary to bring it to life?
Well, it was quite a gory show in ways. So I had to still eat meat afterwards.
While you're editing, you still need protein.
But really, it's just having someone like Dan Andrews believe in me as an editor and brought me into the project. And when someone believes in you, it helps you just do your best. And I had a great time.
Let me just say that we all believe in you and appreciate the work you do. Often it is on a quicker turnaround than you got for this documentary. Paris, I'm going to toss it over to you, but let's hear a little bit more about the brilliant writing.
One of the great
Chicago
historians here, Robert Lorzel. So tell us what went into the writing of this.
Well, we had to rely on some of our other local historians, like Dominic Basiga was a very valuable voice to include in interviews in the show. I did things like look into the writings and interviews with Philip Danforth Armour so we could actually have his voice in the show. He's no longer alive, obviously died more than 100 years ago, but we could get enough of what he said in his own words and have the great actor Thomas Cox perform the parts just in terms of audio voice. And bring it all together.
Rob, you do such an amazing job of uncovering aspects of Chicago history that we all think.
Got to follow this guy's Twitter feed.
We want to say also we've got Ian Bertoli.
All right, Ian, give us a few words. What was your role?
I helped find some of the characters that fleshed out our story, like Ruben Ramirez and Marlene Garrickson and Tim Boyd, people who lived through this chapter of Chicago history that wrapped up before I was even born. It was such an exciting experience and a great team to work with.
All right, congratulations, Dan. You're the man, the best there is in the city of Chicago. All right, whatever, fist bump, handshake.
And this is one that I know we can see.
We're going to be back with maybe a surprise guest in just a moment here.
Woohoo! Go team!
Congrats, guys.
See you. Bye, Dan. You were great. I'm so happy for you. Give me a hug, bring it in. Congrats.
Told you we had a special guest. We're back here with the coach, Coach Dave Wanstead. Coach Wanstead is a lifelong Bears fan. You know, when you were coaching, you had to deal with the loudmouths in the media that thought they knew what was best. Now, you're one of the guys analyzing it, and you're tremendously popular right now. So what's it like to be on the other end, offering your critique and analysis?
You know what's amazing? When you're coaching, you're an idiot. They say you don't know anything. Then I get the microphone in front of me, and I'm a genius, like overnight.
Everyone loves you now.
It's amazing.
The best coach in Bears history.
Overnight, all of a sudden you get smart. But it's fun. It's not work for me. I do a lot of radio and TV here, but I'd be doing it anyway if I wasn't doing it on
Commentating from your couch, perhaps.
Exactly, or out with friends or talking on the phone. So it's fun. I love being still involved in the game.
And Coach, I think we all have, as Bears fans, some good memories of 94, 95, 96. We were just talking about that Cowboys Monday night game in 96.
Yeah.
95, your offense, you had two 1,000-yard receivers, a 1,000-yard rusher. It was, I'd never seen a Bears team so explosive.
Yeah, and it's funny because in coaching, everybody has a window where they got to hit it big. And it might be a 1-year window, it might be a 6-year window, whatever it is. And that, you mentioned the Cowboys game, they were coming off a Super Bowl. It was Monday night. We beat them here, and that was my best team. And then it was like the next week, I believe it was, Eric Kramer, our quarterback, broke his neck, and he was out for the year, and we went 7-9, and we lost free agents. And that was my window to hit it big.
And Kramer had that awesome year in 95.
The year before that, yes,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, Coach, I know your time is very valuable. We really appreciate you joining us.
This is great.
You're an awesome presence in local media, and we hope you stick around.
Well, thank you very much. I enjoy it. Chicago's been very good to me.
All right. Thanks again. Coach Dave Wanstead.
All right.
Oh, wait. We got to do a quick selfie with you. Get back down. I'm doing this with most people when I remember, but especially the big ones. Oh, hold on. All right. Paris, you want one just to you two?
Sure, absolutely.
I might want one too for my dad, truth be told. He'll be excited. You're back again, Amanda Vinicky and Paris Schutz. Normally, we are on Chicago Tonight on WTTW, but taking over the couch backstage at the Chicago Midwest Emmys. There are a lot of award winners tonight, but some are really bigger than others, including the one that has just been going to be taken home by Steve Novak here, and that is the prestigious Governor's Award. That is the highest honor that the TV Academy's Board of Governors can bestow and is awarded for truly outstanding and unique accomplishments of some duration and durability. You, of course, had served, and this is in part due to your service as president of the Chicago Midwest Emmy chapter for a 5-year stretch from 2015 until 2020. So congratulations to you. What all went into that work? These are organizations that perhaps don't often bring a medal home. It take a lot of time and energy.
Well, it's an amazing thing because the Academy is such a wonderful organization that promotes excellence in television, and I'm just proud to be a part of it. We work with students, we work with the entire broadcast community, television right now is in its second golden age. Television as an art form is in great shape. Television as a delivery method is evolving, and at the Academy what we're trying to do is find that way of taking what we see in broadcast, the streaming, and all of that, and making it relevant to today's consumer.
A golden age, that's so spiriting, because I think some people would
We're
say
all concerned
that
about
it's
the changes that are happening.
Not
Yeah.
enough folks are watching, that there's too much to take away our
Where,
attention.
where do you think the medium is going in the next, especially as it pertains to local broadcast news?
Well, I think local broadcasting is still in really good shape. It really is. There's always going to be a need for local news. It's just going to be how it's delivered. Is it going to go on your TV? Is it going to go on your computer, on your phone? At the gas station, we see it. We see
back of a
media
cab.
in the back of a cab. We have to evolve with that. Shows like Chicago Tonight have done a great job of evolving and changing their focus to make television relevant. The news is what people are looking for locally, and luckily, we have a vibrant community in the Chicago Midwest chapter. And I think we should be very proud of the work that's been done here.
Absolutely.
It really is
As
incredible.
evidenced by the winners tonight, absolutely, and everybody involved.
What makes a successful TV story? When you hear from folks who are taking home an Emmy statue such as this one, what is it that takes it to the next level?
Well, I think it's the dedication, the fact that you're going to look at what's going on and see it from different eyes. Take it to a place where the folks at home, they wouldn't necessarily be able to see it in that perspective. If you can bring it into their homes from a perspective they necessarily wouldn't see, I think that's what gives you a winner.
That is some inspirational words. Once again, that is Steve Novak, who is taking home the most prestigious award that the Board of Governors, that's really in charge of this whole ordeal, can bestow, the Governor's Award. So congrats to you.
Congratulations to you. Well
Thank you, and I appreciate the award. I appreciate what you're doing back here. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
You got it.
Give me a
Thanks.
shake.
Congratulations.
We'll be back with more coming up.
Back here, Amanda Vinicky, Paris Schutz. We're here with Will Jones and Justin Allen. They won Outstanding Achievement for News Gathering, Diversity, Equity, Inclusion for Logan's story. Okay, so tell us a little bit about this story.
Well, Logan is a trans-masculine individual who runs a mentorship program that connects trans youth with trans adults to, kind of bridge the gap of it gets better. And we kind of got out of his way and told his story. And his story was complicated and, at times very sad, but he, in general, is the happiest and funniest person. I don't know. It's like one of those, I spent 3 days with him, happiest and funniest individuals I've been with in a long time.
That's amazing. When you go through adversity, you have that just outlook on life that's positive and to have that. And Will, what was it like working on this story?
For me, it was very interesting because I learned so much participating in this story, learning about the trans community. There are a lot of headlines, a lot of legislation out there about this community, and oftentimes when you don't get to see the humanity. We're talking about real people. So when people are making these laws, these are people who just want to live their lives in the best way possible, be authentic to themselves, and hoping that everyone else gets out the way. So it was very heartwarming to see these people and show their joys, their struggles, their sadness, and what they're looking to accomplish in life, and share that with the public, because a lot of times people don't understand the trans community because many people don't come in contact with people who are trans. But this story allowed our viewers to see a community that deserves attention.
And Will, what does it mean that there even is a category for DE&I? I don't know enough about the Emmys to know when that became a category unto its own, but I imagine that it hasn't always been around. Why is it important to have a category like this, and how does that perhaps elevate storytelling and attention to these tales?
This is the first year for this category, so it is
There we
an
go,
honor
brand new.
to
Okay.
win in this category.
The inaugural award, congrats.
I cover race and culture for WLS. It's a brand new beat that started in the aftermath of George Floyd. So to be able to highlight these stories and showcase our rich diversity, I think that is extremely powerful. And I think of my job as a reporter to build bridges between different communities, to be able to have a conversation without even meeting each other.
Yeah, it's so important, especially given the demagoguing on these things that are out there, to just tell the stories and shine a light. Congratulations to both of you, Justin Allen, Will Jones. Well done. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Very first award, woohoo!
Back in a bit. We are here with Stacey Robinson and Mizani Ball. They have won for Outstanding Achievement for Documentary Cultural, and this is for, woohoo, our home team again, WTTW, Chicago Stories, the birth of gospel, a really important story. Mizani, what was it like working on this project?
It was really amazing. I feel like working on this project was really a way for me to connect with my history of the Great Migration with my family, and also just being able to work with an experienced producer like Stacey was really like helpful for me, emerging filmmaker, emerging producer, learning from someone that has done this plenty of times and is like gracefully moving through the industry. And so it was really an amazing time. I learned so much and I got to meet so many amazing people, and it was so much fun.
And now everybody else gets to meet those amazing people, of
Exactly.
course, because of your documentary. What goes into a production of something like this? Finding the characters, the stories to tell, because gospel, of course, has a very long history, but the role Chicago played in it.
Well, we really try to. You're right. Gospel has a very, very long history, and there are many different kinds of gospel. But we were lucky in that this was Chicago Stories, so we really wanted to talk about the history of gospel in Chicago. And Chicago has a very, very unique connection with gospel in that the birth of gospel really arguably happened here. The gospel that we know now, the modern gospel. So it was a little bit easier for us because we were able to kind of hone in and focus down on just the story of Thomas Dorsey and all the gospel churches in Chicago that really give us the sound that we hear today, which is that vibrant, bluesy, sometimes electrified gospel that we would consider to be modern day
You can really
gospel.
feel in your bones.
Absolutely.
It's beautiful and inspiring.
I don't think people understand how much American music actually was influenced by gospel. I mean, it runs a gamut of all. I mean, you could say country music, rock, blues, jazz, all of it. And could you just kind of expound on that a little bit?
Yeah,
Because I'm a music geek, so I like talking about this stuff.
I like to say, after doing the show, that America would have no soul if it wasn't for gospel music. That gospel music gave America its soul in some ways. And when I think about soul, I think about it in a musical way. But you're right. It really started with, it really came from the slaves that came over in the Atlantic crossing that brought their music with them, that combined it with American music. It's uniquely American in sound, and so much of the music that the whole world listens to really starts in America. I had someone who saw the documentary, and they were from Sweden, and gospel is really big in the country of Sweden. And
Who knew?
they know the connection that it has to Chicago. Who would have thought, right?
Wow.
But really gospel is
And I assume you got to visit, there's the Mahalia Jackson house in Chatham. Did you go down there?
We, no, we didn't.
Okay, well,
There's a lot of stories to tell in gospel.
Yeah. All right, well, congratulations, Stacey Robinson, Mizani Ball, WTTW, Go Team. Well done.
So proud of you. It's awesome. And yes, again, because I do think it's really great to direct folks to where they can watch some of these award-winning pieces. That's both online, you can watch it on our station, Channel 11, YouTube, all the spots. So check out some of this award-winning work. We'll be back coming up. Welcome back to the Backstage show. We are about to get smart with our, I'm serious here, with our latest Emmy
Don Adams is here.
Winner.
That's a Get Smart reference.
Okay, I got it. No. Alex Kirchner
Oh.
is going to be our guest right now on this fine couch here, Paris, who is just won the Emmy for Outstanding Achievement for News Gathering for Weather News. And Alex, this is for a weekly series called Weatherwise. So, as promised, help make us smart. What is Weatherwise, and what sort of information do you share with viewers in the Rockford area at WREX to help them get Weatherwise?
So this is a weekly 1-minute segment about really anything that I kind of think, like, what are the viewers asking right now? Are there weird cloud formations, or do we have growlpool this week? It's like those little styrofoam balls that fall out when it gets kind of cold sometimes. So I'll go over and kind of explain a little more in depth about certain topics that viewers might be questioning. So it could be the environment, it could be science, it could be weather, and all of the above sometimes.
Anything that you're eyeing now that we're in the cold snap is coming our way? It's December. Growlpool, maybe. What exactly is it to explain scientifically?
So have you ever seen those like little Dippin' Dots, little like precipitation, like it looks like hail, but it's like small little styrofoam balls? That's what that is. So
Just
I might
don't
explain
eat
that.
these, right? They don't
Probably
taste as
not.
good as the Dipping Dots.
Probably not, yeah.
Maybe with some chocolate on top.
You never know.
You tried that?
I have not tried that, so maybe that's the key.
That's the next Weather Smart segment. Can you eat the, what's it called again?
Growlpool.
Growlpool,
Right.
Growlpool. So how does it feel to win this and be recognized by your peers?
It's a really, really big honor. So my partner in this, Curtis Lawler, he's the one that puts this together, and it's phenomenal working with him each and every week on this. And 2 years ago, we won an Emmy in this category, but it was so different because we were like in our basements, like just cheering by ourselves. So now it's like I get to
You're in
get
your
blitzed up,
tux.
and there's an actual party. So it feels just as amazing as it did a
Just
couple
be honest,
years
you
ago.
wore the tux in your basement too, though.
It tucks on top and then sweatpants.
Right.
Obviously,
Right.
isn't that how it all went? Well, congratulations once again. That's Alex Kirchner, Emmy Award winner for News Gathering Weather with Weatherwise. Party on.
Thank you.
We'll be back coming up.
Back here with another winner, we've got Hernan Frado from WSNS. Outstanding achievement for news gathering, societal concerns, and military news for his stories Hero Street or La Calle de los Héroes, and Madre Cabrini, patrona de los inmigrantes.
That's correct. And your Spanish is good.
Muchas gracias. Estoy practicando.
There you go. There you go.
Felicitaciones.
Thank you.
So tell us about these stories, that these are big subjects for packages.
Well, actually, you know, it is something to tell about, you know, the community. And when I find out that the first saint in whole the United States, she died in Chicago, and she was an immigrant as well, say, hey, why don't we know this, you know? And she died over there in Lincoln Park. And there was such a beautiful story about the way she died and why she became the patron of the immigrants. And you know, I'm an immigrant, I didn't know, and I'm Catholic. I didn't know she existed in this figure. Say, hey, if I didn't know that, there's a whole.
I knew that.
Which saint is this?
Cabrini.
Cabrini, you know, Mondo Cabrini.
Yes.
And there's a neighborhood here in Chicago called Cabrini. Cabrini, you know, because she decided to make houses and hospitals and schools, and she died here in Chicago. And she's a saint, and she's the first saint in America. So her story was amazing. I said, hey, we need to tell this. And here we are.
Stories of heroes such as Saint Cabrini.
Yep.
How does it feel to win this award and be recognized by your peers?
I'm super honored. I know that it's a cliche, but sometimes cliches are formed by this feeling about, you know, a whole bunch of people feeling the same thing without having any words that say how humble and how thankful you are to be able to work doing whatever you like. I mean, I love doing this. I've been doing this for the last 20 years of my life, and being able to be recognized, you know, in this third market with these amazing people is
To share knowledge with
It
folks.
is,
And I'm sorry, did somebody leave their Emmy, or you're going with two?
Yes.
Well, these were for the two stories.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's pretty phenomenal. I think you're the first one who's come up to this couch double-fisted, so that's quite an honor.
All right, Hernan Frado, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank
You
you.
bet.
Congrats
Thank
again.
you.
All right. Be right back.
Yeah, two. So wait, for what? What?
We're back and joined by a meteorologist extraordinaire, Cheryl Scott. But you're not just a meteorologist, you're a dancer, you're a show host.
A wannabe dancer.
It looks pretty good to me, but I'm not even a wannabe dancer. All right, so you won for Outstanding Achievement for Special Event Coverage, Live and Ed for Countdown Chicago. This looks like such a complicated production to pull off. What went into it?
I mean, honestly, it is a complicated production. There are so many people that it really takes behind the scenes, dozens of people. We have basically our film director here who makes all of the magic happen, Colin, and it's a lot, but we love it. And like our mission is at the end of the day to bring a smile and joy to people as we ring in a new year, and we're excited to do it each and every year.
How many weeks of practicing for the dance number?
Not enough. Not enough.
Oh,
I
come
can tell
on.
you this.
All right.
Honestly, we learn the dance probably a month before we perform it, but with work and schedules, it's crazy trying to fit everything in. But we work with the best dancers in all of Chicago, Puzzle League, Puzzle Box Studio, and they transform Terrell and I into wannabe dancers for a night.
So are you already working on your 2023 dance?
Heck yes, we are. Yes, we're really excited.
All right.
A
He knows the
countdown,
game
if you
plan.
will.
Yeah, all right, so this is your second time we've interviewed you tonight.
Yes, yeah.
So what, did you do some drone action on this too?
No, I did actually a little bit of everything on this one. I was the director of the dance last year, the year before, and so now this year as well.
What is it about a New Year's sort of show that is different than regular news programming? You get to have a little bit of fun with it, of course, but so many folks are focused, perhaps, I'm sorry to say, on New York and the ball dropping. But this brings attention to Chicago. What does that mean?
Well, that's the thing, is that we come from such a wild broadcast there in Times Square that now when it comes to Chicago, it hits you just as hard. We have this amazing dance that we've been doing now 3 years in a row. At least I've been directing it. They've been doing it even longer than that. And it has been a lot of fun to work on. I mean, they really work hard on this. I mean, Cheryl and Terrell, I can't believe that they're in the middle of the night we're filming this, and they are dancing their butts off. And I am just shocked at how much they can do in one evening and so late in the night. And I'm just so proud of them, and I'm proud of the crew that helps out filming this. I mean, what we do is just quite amazing.
Did you ever envision for yourself that you would be dancing on live TV and putting on a spectacle like this?
I mean, no, but I did write in my 8th grade yearbook I plan to become a meteorologist or go on Broadway. So this is like the best of both worlds for me. I grew up tap dancing, so I was on stage for a good portion of my childhood. But like, this is hip hop dancing. This is nothing like I've had any training in, any experience, so it's a little bit different. But like you said, coming from New York, Chicago is, in my opinion, one of the best cities in the entire country, hands down.
No argument here.
So we
No
need to
argument
step
here.
up our game
We need
in
to step up our
terms
game.
of, you know, our New Year's Eve. And if we could just bring a smile to a few people, that means the world to us, and that's our mission.
All right, we're looking forward to
Countdown to
2023.
2023. Into
We're
more
excited.
Emmy Awards coming up. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Cheryl. Thanks,
We'll
Al.
be back.
Take care.
Gobble gobble, everybody. No, I'm not crazy.
You're a week late, Amanda.
Thanksgiving, I realize, is done, but this is an Emmy that has just been received for a story about turkeys. In fact, trouble with turkeys. Tosa turkeys, as in Wauwatosa. Yes. This is an award won by, thank you so much, this is Bill Walsh of WDJT out of Milwaukee, and Outstanding Achievement for News Gathering, Lifestyle News. Tosa turkeys, why are they so troublesome?
They're wild in Wauwatosa. They roam the streets, the mean streets of Wauwatosa.
Very mean.
And sometimes they bother folks, and they messed with the wrong person.
Specific.
Amanda Porterfield, our daytime anchor, our noon and 4 p.m. anchor. Listen, you don't mess with Porterfield without us having a reaction. We take care of our own. So we went out after those turkeys. We didn't find them.
But you went on a search, an investigation.
We went on a search. They knew we were coming. They were scared. They were a little scared. They were a little scared.
The traveling turkeys of Tosa.
Yes.
So what is it like now to be recognized for this piece by your peers with this Emmy Award?
It feels fantastic. My father is in the hospital with brain cancer, and this one, and it happens to everybody with their parents, but this is going to make them smile, and that makes me smile, and it fills me with so much joy and pride. So I'm incredibly thankful, and this has been a great event. So I can't say enough about it. And yeah, you know, when you get into journalism, you want to speak truth to power. You want to expose government corruption. Well, my recognition is with a story about turkeys.
Sometimes you want to make people laugh, especially your father, presumably.
Absolutely.
You cover a lot of turkeys when you cover politics, too.
Well, not wrong.
Yeah.
Not wrong.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
And
really
those Tosa
appreciate
turkeys, they better watch out.
No, listen.
One of them's going to be dinner.
You mess with a local celebrity, you mess with all of us.
Once again, that's Bill Walsh of WDJT, who's taking home an Emmy for Lifestyle News. Congrats to you, Bill.
Thank
and best
you.
wishes to your dad.
Thank you.
We'll be back coming up.
All right, we've got Lauren Victory from CBS 2 Chicago. She has just won for Outstanding Craft Achievement for On-Camera Talent Reporter, Specialty Medical, Consumer, Transportation, Traffic. That's quite a beat there. How do you marshal that beat?
It's all the above, and really I'm very appreciative that the Academy even came up with this award this year, because once I saw it, I was like, oh my God! That's literally
That's
what
what
I
I
do.
do.
Yeah, like it's all encompassing. I'm working on this beat within CBS that we've named the Morning Insiders, or I'm taking you inside different issues, different places, different laws, different whatever, and it involves consumer and health and transportation and all the above. So when I saw it, I was like, oh well. I'll try. We'll see what happens.
And you're being recognized now by your peers, but this is something that really does provide a service, a sort of coverage that viewers appreciate.
Absolutely. There's a lot of times where you get an email after the story is covered and somebody gets a resolution. And we don't want to go ahead and call it the problem solvers, because at least at CBS we're trying to get to the bottom of why is this happening?
An endemic issue.
An endemic issue. This is a consumer saying this is happening to me, but it's not just oh, we solved her problem. It's well, why is this happening? Why is this a policy at your insurance company? Or why is City Hall allowing this sort of ticketing issue to happen? Things like that.
So I'm curious, how do you find a lot of these stories?
It's a revolving sort of
secret.
Yeah.
I mean, we're both reporters, we should know, but I'm always...
But what can you tell us, Lauren?
I want to know other reporters' secrets.
I would say, it's obviously, like any reporter would say, it's just asking a lot of questions, and then you find out that in the course of doing this one investigation, this person's got questions about this, and you can't really get to it in that report, but then you keep going, and then in the sort of investigating. I don't mean to put it in quasi, but it really is quasi investigating, because I'm turning around stories in a day or 2 days at a time. I'm not getting weeks or months long, and the folks that
We know
get
how
that
that
amount
works.
of time.
We know that hustle.
We know that game.
It is so hard, and they do such good work. But the sort of reporting that I'm doing, you're kind of turning it around, and you're giving city departments and state departments and whatever departments, a day or two to get back to you. But then there's always another question or two that pops up, and so it just my news director, when he first tasked me with this assignment of, hey, you're going to do this segment, and he says you need exclusive stories every day. You're like, oh my God, how am I going to do stories that are just exclusive to us every day? And he says, you just wait and see. It's a snowball, and the snowball is going to roll, and it really does. It just goes and goes and goes.
And it led to an Emmy.
And it led to an Emmy.
Congratulations
to you. So exciting.
Lauren Victory.
Very proud.
All right, that's Lauren Victory, WTTW, CBS 2 Chicago. It's getting late, folks.
We take you.
It's getting late. All right, we'll be right back.
Yeah, we're getting cheeky, huh?
Getting a little cheeky. Getting a little...
And last but not least, we are recognizing one of the toughest beats, and that is investigative reporting. And this is an award for multiple investigative reports out of WITI in Milwaukee. Amanda St. Hilaire for her series Runaway Relationship. Amanda, this sounds dangerous. Do tell.
So this started with a public records request. It was a random request for voicemails, school board voicemails. And there was a weird one on there, and through pulling some threads, we found out that there was a school district that had awarded a contract to a company that ended up being a company a school administrator's husband worked for. And through pulling those threads and finding out how that came to be, we found out the school administrator had a heavy hand in making sure this contract went there. And this is a 6-figure contract. So through uncovering all of that and talking to people in the community and figuring out concerns with this program, that led us to showing up at a school board meeting when people wouldn't answer our questions and trying to figure out.
Not taking no for an answer.
Yeah, exactly.
We've never heard of anything like that here in Chicago. My gosh, steering contracts to friendly folks. What was that confrontation like when you showed up?
You know, it's one of those things where I don't believe in jump out of the bushes reporting. If I am showing up with a microphone and a camera in your face,
you're letting everyone know you're there.
It's because it's a last resort,
Yeah.
right? It's because I've tried
Send
every other
emails,
method. Exactly.
Phone calls, maybe a fax machine if they have one.
Exactly. So it was more just kind of going from person to person trying to figure it out. And actually, the president of the school board said, "Why would I talk to you? We don't have a relationship." And everything in this story kept coming back to relationships and who was cozy with who and how did things come about. So the reason this was so important of a story for us to report was because you, the taxpayer, you, the parent, deserve to know where your money is going and why, and if it's going to the best program for the kids, for your tax dollars, or if it's going somewhere because of a
You
relationship.
shouldn't need a special relationship.
This reminds us of stuff that's happened at Chicago Public Schools like over and over again. So this is the best kind of reporting. Congratulations. Congratulations on winning an Emmy for it.
Thank you so much.
Once again, that's Amanda St. Hilaire, and she's taking home an Emmy for an investigative series. Congrats to you.
Thank you so much.
And we've got a final word after this. That's it.
Awesome. Yes,
I'm sorry
thank
for
you.
grabbing your
No,
microphone.
it's
That
okay.
is-
No. We have officially come to the end of the night here for the Emmy After Dark show, or the Backstage show. Congratulations again to all the winners. Amazing talent here, amazing stories.
It's inspiring. It makes me want to get back to work, dare I say.
Well, you've got a
Who's
day,
looking forward
because
to a
Monday's
Monday?
coming.
But yeah, it's
Monday's
going
to be here
File
pretty soon.
some FOIAs, get going. We've got lots of TV and web series and documentaries and PSAs to watch. I feel like everybody that we talked to afterward, I was like, well, gosh, now I've got to sit in front of the couch, hibernate a little
Here's the
bit,
thing
and
I've
watch some
learned.
of this material.
There are just so many great productions happening in Chicago and the Midwest. And, you know, the coasts are one thing, New York is one thing, national network TV is one thing. But the kind of stories that are being told here, the kind of talent that exists here is really unmatched. It really is. It's really amazing. It's really great to celebrate that. And by the way, we've got talent coming up through the pipeline. We've got all our students working on this broadcast. Congratulations to them
Students
for
who
a
were
flawless
recognized at the beginning
evening, right?
of this awards program that are taking home crystal pillars. They're sort of versions of Emmys. And it really is one of those things where I'm inspired. I've had fun. It's been great to see everybody's fashion up
Not
close.
mine.
I gotta
Not
say,
mine.
that's been a good time as well.
And Amanda, of course, it's been
I've
good
had
hanging out
fun
with
hanging out
you.
with you. Not that we do it kind of a lot, I'll be honest,
right,
everybody.
we do.
But not like this, not hanging out on a couch in sequence.
I've
while
never
we're
seen
speaking
you
to
in
other
that
fabulous-
before.
See, it is new. It is new.
All right.
So thanks so
Well,
much
it's
for
been a lot
having
of fun.
us. And
Thank you,
that's
Natus.
it for us tonight. Thanks to the crew.
Support local
Congratulations on the
journalism,
weekend.
support local broadcast journalism. Go get them.
Bye, everybody. See you at the 65th annual Emmys, perhaps.